What's going on, guys? We've got the '02 V6 Mustang in here in the garage again today. We're going to be doing the wiper cowl replacement, just the upper. This will be useful for anybody trying to replace a wiper motor, the washer jets, or any issues that might be going on back there. One thing to note, if you're going to remove this and you're not intending on replacing it, expect to replace it. So the issue is that these get very brittle, especially these single piece designs. I personally like the single piece design much better. I think it's a lot cleaner, a lot smoother look all the way across. That being said, it has aged significantly and has begun to shatter, as I'm sure most of yours have as well. This side actually was intact when I went to remove it. It was actually that side that was broken, and that was actually on me. I actually broke that. Being an idiot, stuck in a canyon somewhere. Where was that? Spanish Fork Canyon, had a nasty rock slide. I was stuck in the same spot with Jersey barriers on either side for about 3-4 hours, so thought, I'm going to just get out on the hood and smoke. Do not sit on these hoods. Do not sit on the fenders. Don't sit on the wiper cowl. You're going to break all of it. Okay, this is not an old car. These were not designed to be sit on. Like, that being said, if I see somebody sitting on a 67 Mustang, even if it's theirs, I'm probably going to punch them. Like, that's, you just don't do it. Don't do it. Your butt does not belong on top of the car. It belongs in a seat inside of it, and that's about it. But I ended up busting the crap out of it. So we're going to be replacing it today. I was making a video. Of course, my phone decided to flip out and quit recording on me. So something about too many files. So I went through, deleted a bunch of old videos. They're already posted. So how to get these out. So first and foremost, what you're going to want to do is pull off the wiper blades. These actually come off super easy. I fought these things for years. I could not figure out how they worked. But all you've got to do is release the tension on the wiper motor. So you're just going to, or on the arm, sorry. So pick the arm up off the glass, let it stick straight up, and then what you're going to do is, see this little tab right here, is you're just going to pull it straight out. And when you pull it out, I'll show you the mechanism behind here so you can see it. There it is. That's all it is that holds it in place. Now there's no spring, there's nothing on this. What happens is once you stick it back on, you push this tab in and then drop the arm, and then the spring pressure actually applies against that and keeps the wiper arm on the vehicle. So very simple to remove. You just pull the tab out. For years and years and years, I tried taking pliers and pushing these in. It goes the other way. You got to pull that out, and you have to have the arm tension removed. These will pop right off. And this does not appear to be steel. This appears to be either aluminum, and I doubt it is. It's probably more like a pot metal, but it's not going to rust, which is good. The end parts are also aluminum. There is one steel rod, I believe, coming through the center right there. You can see it is a little rusted, but that's all it takes to take those off. Then you have a number of clips. One of them sits right here. Another one sits right there. You're going to pop all those off. Should be 3 or 4 of them. Pull the clips out. Now these were a screw style clip in mine. One of these push pin screws. Of course I lost it. There it is. So this is the top part. I found the easiest way to remove these. So if you stick a Phillips in there, more than likely you're not going to have one small enough to actually be able to get in there. So what I did was just took a very small flathead screwdriver, stuck it underneath, pried that out just like that, went flying just like it did, and then stuck the rest of the flathead under this part and pulled it right out. Very simple, very quick, easy way to remove those. So those are going to end up probably in the trash or in my random pile, because the new wiper cowl came with replacements. I don't care for them. They are the big Christmas tree style. I may end up using others. I do have a couple of spares laying about the place, but this particular wiper cowl is a 2-piece. This came off of, or did not come off of, this came from eBay. Seems to be a pretty clean unit. I've already had some gripes with it. I have not even attempted to install it yet, but which is what we're about to be doing. So a couple things I didn't like about it. This one was like 36 bucks on eBay. These little rubber pieces on the end were not attached, so be prepared with some type of 3M tape. I used some double-sided foam tape. You can see here, I just ended up, you can actually see my lines where I just cut little strips of it. No, they weren't really clean. I could have done a lot better with a straight edge, but cut little strips of it, stuck them along the edge there, and then attached it with it, and then used a couple of clamps wherever those things got tossed. Just little plastic clamps from Harbor Freight just to kind of hold it in place till it's set. It seems to be set. We'll see if it holds up. That was the first gripe with this thing. The next one is these washers. When you tried to swap them to it, they don't stay at all. It's not even trying to stay in place. So not happy about that. More than likely it was made for more of a universal jet, because more than likely yours have been broken at some point. However, just little fit and finish stuff. I mean, the thing came straight out of China. It's close, it looks good, but we'll see if it actually is going to function without sitting there and rattling. But anyway, so to finish removal, you'll see we have some clips here, 1, 2, and a number of them, and these go right along the edge of the windshield. So what you're going to want to do is, once you've got all those clipped out, is you're going to want to get under this edge here and start prying it up. Now, if it's anything like mine, it's just going to start shattering like crazy. So if you're trying to reuse this, I don't have high hopes for ever getting to reuse one, especially now that these cars are coming on 20 years old, all of them. Even the 2004, that's coming up here pretty quick. Only got like another 3 years, and that's a 20-year-old car. But you're just going to work your way down, pop all of them off. Then these corners, if it doesn't shatter like mine, you've just kind of got to wiggle it out, because this corner actually sits under your A-pillar cover, and this actually sits underneath the fender. So it's a little bit of a trick, but you just wiggle it right out, pull the whole unit directly out. When you get up to about this point, you're going to want to stop, because you've got jets attached to it with rubber hoses. Now, you don't want to break these. You can see I've already got this one transferred. Again, I made a video, showed how to pull every bit of this out. I'm going to try to go over it here real quick with you. So the best method that I found was start with these. All you're going to do is, you'll see, now this is the new one, and these don't even sit in there right, so you'll notice I've even got foam tape stuffed and taped back behind there to hold this in place. But what you're going to do is stick a flathead screwdriver behind there, and then just lightly pry it, and it will pop right out without destroying it. Now, there should be 2 of these on your old one, which, oh yeah, the old one's sitting on the car still. But you're going to want to disconnect this guy from here. He is sitting right here. Now, you'll notice this is just a barbed fitting. Nothing special about these. If you end up breaking these, just use a piece of rubber hose to join it together. Just make sure it's a tight fit, and you'll never have any issues. What you want to do is disconnect that 90 there. Just kind of wiggle and twist, wiggle and twist. Just be careful not to shatter it, especially as these get older. They love to shatter. I have done hundreds of repairs on these on cars. These can be quite the pain in the butt, especially the older the plastic gets. And trying to buy those parts from the dealer is somewhat of a joke. So now that we have this part popped out of the panel, what you're going to want to do is push this tab right here in. And when you push that tab in, it's going to pop out, and of course this isn't holding all that well. And then what you're going to want to do is continue to push it all the way through till the rubber hits this, and then you're going to want to twist it to pull it out. Now, if you're replacing this, it's not a big deal. You're likely to crack it, shatter it, break it, but it's better than busting a jet and then trying to hunt one down. Now, a universal one may very well fit, but trying to get these from Ford can be something of a joke, especially if the parts guy is an ornery individual, we'll go with that, and doesn't want to have to look for your $2.50 part and then mark it up another $20. But that's about all it takes to get those out. Just be careful not to break these. These are just rubber fittings into plastic barbed hoses. So long as you don't destroy it, it should be okay. You may consider getting new ones before you even begin pulling this, just in case you shatter them or in case they are already broken. These can be very simply fixed with vacuum hose. You just plug it onto the ends and then attach it to wherever the plastic shattered. Cut a little piece, join it together, stick it in either side. If you want to go crazy, I've seen people put little zip ties on them. I very rarely do I ever see that actually work, especially if it's any kind of loose. You want a nice, tight, solid, hard fit, something that takes pressure to put on, and something that is something of a fight to get off. That way it's going to hold the little bit of pressure that these systems do carry, and they don't carry much, maybe 2 or 3 psi. It could be higher than that. It really isn't a whole lot of pressure, but understand that these do require pressure in order for those jets to operate, because it is a very small hole that sprays. It does require pressure in the system for them to operate correctly. So once we get the wiper cowl out, we'll get this old one pulled out. Again, don't forget that these rubber tabs here are not attached on these eBay units. So be mindful of that. Try to note where they're at when you go to attach yours. We're going to pull this out. Yeah, look at that. Absolute fragile, shattered junk. Now, these factory ones had some pretty gnarly 3M tape that we're holding them on. Obviously, you're not going to be able to reuse that, and why they didn't send this with 3M tape to attach it, or just do it at the factory, that's frustrating. That's the kind of stuff that gives you headaches. One thing to note, you are going to need to retain this stock rubber piece that seals the hood. He comes off very easy. You just pull him straight up all the way down, pop him off. Then once you get the new one set in, he just literally pushes right down into place. Just make sure you're somewhat centered, or pay attention to where it was located before you removed it. So overall, pretty simple to do. Patience is your biggest thing. Biggest thing to watch out for is do not put pressure on the glass. Mine actually still has the original windshield in it. 18 years old, and it did finally crack on me, which I'm not happy about, but the amount of pitting and garbage in the windshield and rock chips, realistically it's time to be replaced. So hopefully once I get this into the glass guy, he'll be careful with it and won't bust my new one, but if he does, they're only 36 bucks to get a new one. Bit of a fight to get them in, but here we go. So on installation, if you got the two-piece from eBay, what you're going to want to do is stick this side on first. The driver's side goes on first, hook up the vacuum line, and set him into place. Don't necessarily clip him into place, because you still need to attach that one to the new one and then clip that one into place. But this one goes first, and then the passenger side. But before I do that, I'm going to pause you guys, and I'm going to find a way to secure these jets, because that is just infuriating. Okay, I got the new one on the way in. It's looking better, but there's some absolute garbage. This is a junk product. It really is. I mean, it's hobbled together. It's absolute crap. So these are the factory clips. Notice how far these stick out so they can actually bite in the grooves. These clips under here, right there is no bite there. They will not hold. So now I've got to disassemble the entire thing, pull it all the way back out, swap the factory clips to this one, and then hopefully get it to work. This is what happens. You buy cheap eBay parts, expect absolute garbage. And that's what it is. This is absolute garbage. I mean, can I get it to work? Yeah, I might be able to make this function. After swapping out everything that they had on there with the OE stuff, I might be able to make this thing function. And that's, in my honest opinion, that's garbage. Don't recommend the eBay ones. You're probably going to be a lot better off getting one from Ford if you want the quality. If you're, just trying to piece the stinking thing together. You can see it won't even sit right. I'm having to flex the living crap out of it to get it to fit. I checked to verify that I'm not pinching anything off, or there's nothing protruding, that I'm not aligned correctly. Everything's lined up right where it needs to be. There's nothing underneath of it, and just an absolute fist fight. I do not recommend the eBay one. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off here. There's no reason for me to continue to fight this on camera. We're going to get this one installed, hopefully. We'll give you an update on the next video. Oh, as far as the coolant reservoir goes that we did on the last video, that one is doing excellent, still holding up. No issues there at all. Somehow it only has 22 views on YouTube. Weird. Anyways, but there it is. Still there, hasn't shattered yet, still holding up great. So have an excellent day, you guys. I'm going to try to improve my attitude as I remove those and install all the factory clips to it. So have a good one, you guys. Oh yeah, and my 3M tape did not hold up. It is already spitting the corner of that rubber seal. These units are garbage. Don't buy the eBay ones. They're junk.